Window frames blur with passing words. I try to focus on the page, but every line dissolves away the moment you walk in the space. Soft murmurs fade behind your laugh. My thoughts tilt toward your face. The story drifts, the letters dance, unknown in anyone's place. Pages rustle under trembling touch. Ink and breath collide. Your silhouette beside the light becomes the only guide. I fold the corners, mark the pulse of heartbeats uncontrolled. And though I meant to read again, your presence steals the hold between the quiet lines of text. Your shadow steals the scene. My focus breaks, my world resets. You're every in-between. Sunlight leans across the wooden desk. It warms the coffee stain, but even golden rays of calm can't draw me back again. You stir a foam, lift your cup, a swirl of warmth and grace. The aroma hits, the room dissolves, and then I see your face. Rhythms of a turning page fall silent in your eyes. The story's words dissolve to dust under softer skies. Your glance becomes my resting place, where letters fade to air. And in that hush I lose myself, because I know you're there. Under this hush of drifting thoughts, your heartbeat writes the lines. Each moment shared, each breath you give, distracts like sweetest wine. Wake the morning with your gentle tone. It echoes in my mind. The world outside, the page I held, both vanish once you're kind. Blank spaces on the page remain, but fullness lives inside. Your laughter fills the silent gaps with warmth I cannot hide. Soft as whispers, secrets in the air. Your presence breaks the spell. All words I meant to ever read are stories you will tell. After the ink runs dry and lights go dim, the silence hums your name. This book I held becomes your song, and every page remains. A gentle trace of amber rims, the porcelain holds still. You hold it close with careful hands and drink the day until. No hurry pour, no polished sheen, just warmth that time reveals. A story steeped in faded gold that every moment seals. A crack that sings of yesterday now glows with softened light. You lift the cup like holding years in fingers wrapped so tight. A sip that speaks of quiet vows still lingers on the tongue, and though it bears the weight of time, it's only just begun. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. The glaze may dull, the edges chip, but still the shape remains. You never ask it to be new, just treasured through its stains. You never chase the polished look or hide what's come before, but in each flaw the meaning grows, a kind you can't restore. A handle curved by memory now fits me like a nail, and though the color fades with time, the bond remains the same. You never need to fill the cup to show how much it's worth. It's in the way we hold it still, this quiet form of mirth. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. No shining glaze, no perfect mold, just character that stays. And when we look at what we've made, it's deeper than bouquets. A vessel marked by honest touch now holds what we became. I'd drink from it 1,000 times to speak your silent name. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. Even when the light turns dim and others set things down, we'll raise the cup that time designed, still crowned without a crown. Beneath the low and golden light, the wick begins to sway. You smile across the velvet hush and pull the dark away. No music plays, yet every breath becomes a quiet song. The flame reflects within your eyes, where all my nights belong. Candles lean with softened glow, while shadows barely speak. Your fingers trace the cup's thin edge, and time forgets to seek. Each look you give rewrites the room with words you never say. The world dissolves outside the glass and lets us drift away. When hours float like silver dust, you hold me without touch. And even silence feels complete when it contains this much. Flickers dance along the wall, but nothing needs to change. You don't attempt to make it more, you simply stay in range. This table becomes sacred ground where nothing ever's lost. A single flame, a lowered voice still wraps us in its thread. I'd stay with you till stars give out and every word is said. When hours flow like silver dust, you hold me without touch. And even silence feels complete when it contains this much. Soon the light will find the floor and embers turn to blue. But while the candle still remains, I'll spend it all on you. A second slips between the laughs. The table holds our gaze. You stir your drink, the moment folds inside a golden haze. No ticking hand, no chime in sight, yet shadows start to shift. And all the minutes melt away in pauses sweet and swift. A phrase we barely get to end is lost within the light. You glance at me, I lose the count of morning, noon, and night. A hush that barely had its turn now brushes past the glass. And though we've only just begun, it's somehow come to pass. In places where the hours bend, you turn the world so small. And what feels like a single blink was never slow at all. The floor stays warm, the voices fade, yet we remain the same. You never rushed, yet somehow time still plays a different game. You never asked how long we stayed or if the clock was near. But every look you sent my way made distance disappear. The rhythm spun in silent notes now holds us like a thread. And even if the room resets, the joy has softly spread. You never try to mark the end or trace what once was clear. But when I sit beside your smile, the hours disappear. In places where the hours bend, you turn the world so small. And what feels like a single blink was never slow at all. No heavy bells, no final cue, just warmth that softly fades. And by the time I speak again, the afternoon evades. A memory sealed in passing light still hums beneath my chest. I'd sit with you 100 times and never ask for rest. In places where the hours bend, you turn the world so small. And what feels like a single blink was never slow at all. Even if the hands move on and tables clear the day, the time with you, like pouring tea, just always slips away. Steam curls through the linen air, the morning hums so low. You butter toast with easy hands and let the sunlight grow. No need to fill the room with noise or stir the sky too fast. The quiet holds a golden weight that makes me wanna last. Flakes fall soft onto the plate like snow without a chill. You glance at me and just like that the world begins to still. A warmth that rises from the crust now settles in my chest, and with each breath this simple hour feels richer than the rest. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Clocks remain untouched and kind while mugs begin to steam. You never need to say a thing to sweeten every scene. You don't perform, you don't pretend, you simply stay in tune. And just like that, the air we share turns tender before noon. Pastries warm the woven cloth and fold into the light. I hold my breath between your laughs and memorize the bite. You never ask the morning much, but somehow make it rare. And with you here, each buttery breeze becomes a kind of prayer. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Velvet crumbs on fingertips and jam along the edge. This hour feels like something wrapped in love's unspoken pledge. The bakery could close its doors, the sun forget to rise, but still I'd stay beside your smile with joy I recognize. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Even when the dish is clear and light begins to fade, this croissant morning stays with me in every breath we make. with nothing much to show. The days would pass in shades of beige with nowhere else to go. No spark to dress the morning hours, no bloom to greet the dusk. But then you came with color bright and turned the air to musk. Jars unopened on the shelf now shine with ruby glaze. You spread your light on simple things and sweeten all my ways. Each laugh you bring dissolves the dry that used to line my path. And in your warmth the dullest hours now wear a golden wrap. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Toast no longer tastes like dust when you are near the flame. You fill the gaps I didn't name and never seek acclaim. You never push the world to shine or try to make it grand. But with your touch the blandest day feels sculpted by your hand. Baskets once ignored now sing with warmth I never guessed. You bring out flavor I had missed and turn it into rest. You never claim to be the change, but quietly you stay. And all at once the grayest stretch becomes a sweeter day. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Fingers sticky from your grace still hold what can't be priced. You made the plainest piece of bread taste better than a slice. A moment filled with nothing loud now hums beneath the skin. I'd walk those empty roads again just to let you in. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Even when the jam runs low and crumbs begin to fade, this scone-shaped life remains divine because of you remain. Pressure builds behind the bar. The air begins to hiss. You glance my way and suddenly the world forgets to miss. No symphony, no violin, just metal's whispered cry. And underneath that sharp release, my breath begins to fly. Stirring heat within the glass now sings a trembling chord. silent ribs, more honest than a word. A flash of foam, a puff of white now wraps around the rim. And in that rush I hear my pulse repeat what lies within. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confessed. Steam escapes in wild arcs like lightning through the still. You never ask what burns inside, but somehow always will. You never chase the reason why my cheeks are flushed and warm, but every sigh that rides the noise reveals the quiet storm. Pitches change then fade again, yet always leave a mark. A rhythm I can't memorize still sparks within the dark. You never need to raise your voice or speak above the sound, but I can hear you in the hum where heartbeats spin around. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confess. Ribbons twist and settle low, then vanish in the light. And still I feel the pounding thrum that kept me up all night. A rush that stings, a warmth that stays, now simmers in the seam. I'd stay beside that steamer head to chase another dream. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confessed. Even when the cafe dims and voices start to fade, the sound of steam will hold my heart right where your eyes once stayed. Buzzing crowds behind the glass, the air is sharp and loud. You reach across the tabletop and pull me from the crowd. Lines of noise dissolve like ink as static clears the gray. The moment that we plug and close, the rest just fades away. Every laugh beyond the booth now muffles into mist. We lean into a whispered song that hums like being kissed. Curtains fall on city sounds and fold the world in two. Inside this left and right divide, there's only me and you. Between the wires we nothing needs to rush. We drift between the steady chords in synchronized hush. Snippets of a piano phrase now bloom inside our heads, and I can feel you turn to me, though not a word is said. Moments build like silent waves and echo through the song. The longer we just sit like this, the less the world feels wrong. Frequencies wrap round our cheeks and settle near our eyes. A second stretched in harmony becomes our soft disguise. Between the wires we softly share, a universe begins, and through this tiny channel flows the sound beneath my skin. Tender chords replace the clink of spoons and shifting chairs, and now this room feels far away, as if it isn't there. Tethered by a single line that hums beneath your chin, I'd loop this track 1,000 times to keep you folded in. Between the wires we softly share, a universe begins, and through this tiny channel flows the sound beneath my skin. Even if the music ends and noise comes rushing through, this quiet space between our ears still holds the best of you. Folds within a paper nap hold lines I couldn't speak. The table shakes with every mark, my hand feels faint and weak. Beside the rim of cooling brew, I scribble where you sat. The letters curve, unsure but real, like shadows where we chat. Corners tear from pressing hard, yet still I write it true. This ink contains what lips held back, each word I saved for you. A semicolon holds its breath between what's said and not, and just beneath the surface line you'll find the thought I fought. Within this crease of quiet care, I draw a fragile vow, and all I couldn't say aloud is finding shape right now. Pages never felt this small, yet everything is there. The tilt of chairs, your coffee laugh, the scent that warms the air. You never asked for proof in words or begged for something more, but here I am with trembling lines still scribbling at the core. Every loop and comma sighs with all I left unsaid, and if you hold this napkin close, you'll hear me there instead. You never looked for grand displays or long romantic prose, yet still I draft this silent note to where your spirit goes. Within this crease of quiet care, words and fading ink begin to lose their edge. But still I press and still I try, each word a gentle pledge. The coffee's cold, the cafe thins, the sky begins to pale. Yet in this folded slip of thought, my heart has left its trail. Within this crease of quiet care, I draw a fragile vow, and all I couldn't say aloud is finding shape right now. Even when the note is gone or tossed among the steam, the letter you were never shown still lives inside this dream. Curtains breathe against the glass and pages start to stir. The window paints a moving world while thoughts return to her. Fingers tap a gentle beat across the tabletop. Each glance beyond the drifting cloud is where my secrets drop. Sketches hide between the steaming corners of my mind. I trace your smile and borrow light that only I can find. This quiet booth becomes a vault for words I never send. But somehow in these coffee swirls I write you once again. Inside this sunlit silent frame, you surface line by line. And though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Rays fall soft across the ink where whispers leave a trail. I fold you in between the sips before the warmth can pale. You never knock upon the glass or notice where I lean. Yet every glance I toss outside reflects what might have been. Moments live on napkin scraps in shapes I never show. But every shadow on the sill still finds a way to glow. You never knew this window seat could hold a world so wide, where every passing scene becomes the place where I confide. Inside this sunlit silent frame, you surface line by line. And though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Frames keep changing past the pain while I remain in place, still writing love I never spoke into this hidden space. One more glance and there you are in every drifting tree. A diary not bound in leather but kept where none can see. Inside this sunless silent frame, you surface line by line. And though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Even if the daylight bends and pages start to fade, the story written on this seat is one trade. Lids are up and time takes flight. You walk in sharp and bold. The air turns richer, darker still as sparks begin to unfold. Heat beneath my collar climbs, no warning, just a rush. A glance from you and every beat explodes without a hush. Jitters dance along my wrist, no sip has touched my lips. Yet something in your quiet gaze disarms me as it slips. The table shakes beneath my breath, the rhythm starts to race. And just like shots from copper brass, you pull me into place. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Fingers curl around the cup, but grip begins to slide. You stir the room without a sound while I forget to hide. You never ask for grand display or push with burning heat, but still my chest begins to jump with every skipped repeat. Colors flash behind my lids while sounds blur into haze. And though I try to breathe it down, your glance begins to blaze. You never even move too fast, yet everything rewinds. The shot you pull inside my chest awakens all my lines. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Veins ignite with molten speed as silence turns to loud. I'd never thought that just one look could tear apart a cloud. Rushes rise like velvet waves, too fast for me to catch. And every beat that shakes my core feels tethered to your match. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Even as the moment cools and foam begins to part, the memory of that one glance still stirs my espresso heart. Timberlines beneath our hands still hold a softened glow. The grain remembers whispered laughs from long slow cups ago. Cracks between the wooden rings carry tender hush. The way you breathe beside your mug turns silence into blush. was left ajar. The scent of age, the drift of brew reveal just who we are. These quiet hours in morning light grow deeper with each sip. And though the world moves on outside, we hold a closer grip. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our touch we left behind still chooses to appear. You never needed perfect lines or grand elaborate art, but somehow in this quiet space you've carved into my heart. Evenings dim yet leave behind a trace of fire and oak, and in that blend of comfort found, our strongest words are spoke. You never asked for something bold, yet gave what poets seek. A love that, like this table's grain, grows richer every week. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our rhyme. Every nick along the frame becomes a mark of grace, like how we've weathered storms and sun, but stayed in the same place. Timelessness is not a myth when love is slow and true. This table scent, this grounded peace, all leads me back to you. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our rhyme. Even when the chairs are bare and coffee turns to cold, this space we built on fragrant wood will never not feel whole. Voices blur into the breeze like echoes on the run, but through the noise one gentle sound still outshines everyone. Steps around me rise and fall, yet none of them quite stay, until your laugh so soft and clear rewinds the world my way. Moments stretch and city fades behind your tilted grin, as if the lights all dim themselves to let your joy begin. No script could write this atmosphere, no stage could play it right. Just you and me beneath the hum, and everything feels light. Among a crowd of colored lives, I only feel your hue. The universe holds still for us, sings a song for two. But in your gaze I find a calm that strangers wouldn't know. You never try to claim the space, but still you steal the air. And suddenly I'm lost within a world that wasn't there. Faces move, but none as bright as one I learned by heart. With every glance you cast my way, you pull the clouds apart. A moment built on fleeting sparks, now lives in golden frames. And all I ever need to hear is how you speak my name. Among a crowd of colored lives, I only feel your hue. The universe holds still for us and sings a song for two. Curtains close on all the rest, the scene begins anew. And I can barely catch my breath with how you shine right through. The world could tumble into dusk, but I would never blink if you're the light I get to see each time I stop to think. Among a crowd of colored lives, I only feel your hue. The universe holds still for us and sings a song for two. Even if the noise returns and daylight spins again, the stillness carved by just your laugh is where my dreams remain. Circles drawn in faded steam reveal where warmth once lay. A ghost of heat, a perfect frame that never fades away. Glossy wood and quiet clay still hold the shape you made. Though cups are gone, that outline stays where time refused to fade. Whispers cling to gentle stains left long after you leave. A silent mark you didn't plan, but one I still believe. Smudged along this amber tone, your presence lingers near. Invisible to other eyes, but to my heart so clear. Brewed a frame. Wind has hatched a creative lake that spills across the grain. The table hums a quiet tune of joy and gentle pain. No polish can erase the curve where all our mornings met. I still can see the way you smiled in shadows softly set. Memories aren't carved in stone, they bloom in things we miss. And every ring of golden brown still holds your fingertips. No signature, no written note, but somehow it survives. A stain that marks the space we shared, and every look in your eyes. You didn't mean to leave a trace, yet here you still remain. A tender echo wrapped in rings like softly brewed refrain. knows the cup is new, but nothing quite aligns. The curve you left upon this wood still steals between the lines. I wouldn't wipe it if I could. It tells me where you've been. Your presence held in something small that sings beneath my skin. You didn't mean to leave a trace, yet here you still remain. A tender echo wrapped in rings like softly brewed refrain. Even as the daylight fades and tabletops are clean, the imprint of your gentle touch still lives in an in-between. Soft light, your silhouette becomes the calm I crave. Steam curls around your gentle hands, and stillness seems to say, window panes reflect the world outside, but none compare to this, the way you sip and gently blend. Golden rays drift past your cheek and warm the wooden board. You don't reach out, you don't display, yet in your quiet chord, hush surrounds the scattered noise as if the world withdrew. In that hush, only you exist, my favorite view with you. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the scene. No painting street or skyline grand could match how real you seem. Crimson leaves may dance outside, or city lights might glow, but when you turn to read your cup, my heart forgets to roam. You never need to speak aloud to draw my wandering gaze. In every breath you've given me, I find 1,000 days. Dusks may fade and seasons pass, yet you remain unchanged. Among the shifting shapes of life, your glance stays warmly framed. No fancy view, no postcard scene, just you beside me here. And every sip, each quiet glance makes distant things disappear. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the scene. No painting street or skyline grand can match how real you seem. Emerald nights could spread beyond with stars to light the sky, but in your peace I find the world, no need for outer light. Your laughter small, your sighing breath outshines the distant gleam. If this is all I ever see, I'll call it more than dream. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the scene. No painting street or skyline grand could match how real you seem. Even when the beside your gentle form remains my perfect frame. Window frames blur with passing words. I try to focus on the page, but every line dissolves away the moment you walk in the space. Soft murmurs fade behind your laugh. My thoughts tilt toward your face. The story drifts, the letters dance, unknown in anyone's place. Pages rustle under trembling touch. Ink and breath collide. Your silhouette beside the light becomes the only guide. I fold the corners, mark the pulse of heartbeats uncontrolled. And though I meant to read again, your presence steals the hold between the quiet lines of text. Your shadow steals the scene. My focus breaks, my world resets. You're every in-between. Sunlight leans across the wooden desk. It warms the coffee stain, but even golden rays of calm can't draw me back again. You stir a foam, lift your cup, a swirl of warmth and grace. The aroma hits, the room dissolves, and then I see your face. Rhythms of a turning page fall silent in your eyes. The story's words dissolve to dust under softer skies. Your glance becomes my resting place, where letters fade to air, and in that hush I lose myself, because I know you're there. Under this hush of drifting thoughts, your heartbeat writes the lines. Each moment shared, each breath you give distracts like sweetest wine. Wake the morning with your gentle tone. It echoes in my mind. The world outside the page I held both vanish once you're kind. Blank spaces on the page remain, but fullness lives inside. Your laughter fills the silent gaps with warmth I cannot hide. Soft as whispers, secrets in the air. Your presence breaks the spell. All words I meant to ever read are stories you will tell. After the ink runs dry and lights go dim, the silence hums your name. This book I held becomes your song, and every page remains. A gentle trace of amber rims, the porcelain holds still. You hold it close with careful hands and drink the day until. No hurry, pour, no polished sheen, just warmth that time reveals. A story steeped in faded gold that every moment seals. A crack that sings of yesterday now glows with softened light. You lift the cup like holding years in fingers wrapped so tight. A sip that speaks of quiet vows still lingers on the tongue, and though it bears the weight of time, it's only just begun. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. The glaze may dull, the edges chip, but still the shape remains. You never ask it to be new, just treasured through its stains. You never chase the polished look or hide what's come before, but in each flaw the meaning grows, a kind you can't restore. A handle curved by memory now fits me like a name, and though the color fades with time, the bond remains the same. You never need to fill the cup to show how much it's worth. It's in the way we hold it still, this quiet form of mirth. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. No shining glaze, no perfect mold, just character that stays. And when we look at what we've made, it's deeper than bouquets. A vessel marked by honest touch now holds what we became. I'd drink from it 1,000 times to speak your silent name. In surfaces that wear with grace, we etch another line. A love not built for fleeting days, but meant to age like wine. Even when the light turns dim and others set things down, we'll raise the cup that time designed, still crowned without a crown. Beneath the low and golden light, the wick begins to sway. You smile across the velvet hush and pull the dark away. No music plays, yet every breath becomes a quiet song. The flame reflects within your eyes where all my nights belong. Candles lean with softened glow while shadows barely speak. Your fingers trace the cup's thin edge and time forgets to seek. Each look you give rewrites the room with words you never say. The world dissolves outside the glass and lets us drift away. When hours float like silver dust, you hold You don't attempt to make it more, you simply stay in range. The moment doesn't beg for sound or ask for grander scenes. It only wants your steady gaze and everything it means. Gazes fall like gentle snow and settle on my chest. We speak in sips and subtle signs and let the stillness rest. You never chase what passes by nor cling to what is gone. But in your presence I remain and all my doubt is gone. When hours flow like silver dust, you hold me without touch. And even silence feels complete when it contains this much. Moments slide like softened wax and melt into the cloth. This table becomes sacred ground where nothing ever's lost. A single flame, a lowered voice still wraps us in its thread. I'd stay with you till stars give out and every word is said. When hours flow like silver dust, you hold me without touch. And even silence feels complete when it contains this much. Soon the light will find the floor and embers turn to blue. But while the candle still remains, I'll spend it all on you. A second slips between the laughs, the table holds our gaze. You stir your drink, the moment folds inside a golden haze. No ticking hand, no chime in sight, yet shadows start to shift. And all the minutes melt away in pauses sweet and swift. A phrase we barely get to end is lost within the light. You glance at me, I lose the count of morning, noon, and night. A hush that barely had its turn now brushes past the glass. And though we've only just begun, it's somehow come to pass. In places where the hours bend, you turn the world so small. And what feels like a single blink was never slow at all. The floor stays warm, the voices fade, yet we remain the same. You never rushed, yet somehow time still plays a different game. You never asked how long we stayed or if the clock was near. But every look you sent my way made distance disappear. The rhythm spun in silent notes now holds us like a thread. And final cue, just warmth that softly fades. And by the time I speak again, the afternoon evades. A memory sealed in passing light still hums beneath my chest. I'd sit with you 100 times and never ask for rest. In places where the hours bend, you turn the world so small, and what feels like a single blink was never slow at all. Even if the hands move on and tables clear the day, the time with you, like pouring tea, just always slips away. Steam curls through the linen air, the morning hums so low. You butter toast with easy hands and let the sunlight grow. No need to fill the room with noise or stir the sky too fast. The quiet holds a golden weight that makes me wanna last. Flakes fall soft onto the plate like snow without a chill. You glance at me and just like that the world begins to still. A warmth that rises from the crust now settles in my chest, and with each breath this simple hour feels richer than the rest. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Clocks remain untouched and kind while mugs begin to steam. You never need to say a thing to sweeten every scene. You don't perform, you don't pretend, you simply stay in tune. And just like that, the air we share turns tender before noon. Pastries warm the woven cloth and fold into the light. I hold my breath between your laughs and memorize the bite. You never ask the morning much, but somehow make it rare. And with you here, each buttery breeze becomes a kind of prayer. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Velvet crumbs on fingertips and jam along the edge. This hour feels like something wrapped in love's unspoken pledge. The bakery could close its doors, the sun forget to rise, but still I'd stay beside your smile with joy I recognize. When nothing asks for a grand display, you give the day its start, and every scent that lingers near moves gently through my heart. Even when the dish is clear and light begins to fade, this croissant morning stays with me in every breath the days would pass in shades of beige with nowhere else to go. No spark to dress the morning hours, no bloom to greet the dusk. But then you came with color bright and turned the air to musk. Jars unopened on the shelf now shine with ruby glaze. You spread your light on simple things and sweeten all my ways. Each laugh you bring dissolves the dry that used to line my path. And in your warmth the dullest hours now wear a golden wrap. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Toast no longer tastes like dust when you are near the flame. You fill the gaps I didn't name and never seek acclaim. You never push the world to shine or try to make it grand. But with your touch the blandest day feels sculpted by your hand. Baskets once ignored now sing with warmth I never guessed. You bring out flavor I had missed and turn it into rest. You never claim to be the change, but quietly you stay. And all at once the grayest stretch becomes a sweeter day. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Fingers sticky from your grace still hold what can't be priced. You made the plainest piece of bread taste better than a slice. A moment filled with nothing loud now hums beneath the skin. I'd walk those empty roads again just to let you in. Where everything was once the same, you poured a richer hue. And in the spaces I forgot, you gave me something new. Even when the jam runs low and crumbs begin to fade, this scone-shaped life remains divine because of you remain. Pressure builds behind the bar. The air begins to hiss. You glance my way and suddenly the world forgets to miss. No symphony, no violin, just metal's whispered cry. And underneath that sharp release, my breath begins to fly. Stirring heat within the glass now sings a trembling chord. The sound cuts through my silent ribs, more honest than a word. A flash of foam, a puff of white now wraps around the rim. And in that rush I hear my pulse repeat what lies within. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confessed. Steam escapes in wild arcs like lightning through the still. You never ask what burns inside, but somehow always will. You never chase the reason why my cheeks are flushed and warm, but every sigh that rides the noise reveals the quiet storm. Pitches change then fade again, yet always leave a mark. A rhythm I can't memorize still sparks within the dark. You never need to raise your voice or speak above the sound, but I can hear you in the hum where heartbeats spin around. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confess. Ribbons twist and settle low, then vanish in the light. And still I feel the pounding thrum that kept me up all night. A rush that stings, a warmth that stays, now simmers in the seam. I'd stay beside that steamer head to chase another dream. In bursts of sound that rise and break, you echo through my chest. And every hiss that hits the air becomes my soul confessed. Even when the cafe dims and voices start to fade, the sound of steam will hold my heart right where your eyes once stayed. Buzzing crowds behind the glass, the air is sharp and loud. You reach across the tabletop and pull me from the crowd. Lines of noise dissolve like ink as static clears the gray. The moment that we plug in close, the rest just fades away. Every laugh beyond the booth now muffles into mist. We lean into a whispered song that hums like being kissed. Curtains fall on city sounds and fold the world in two. Inside this left and right divide, there's only me and you. Between the wires we softly share, a universe begins, and through this tiny channel flows the sound beneath my skin. Flickers flash behind your smile, but nothing needs to rush. We drift between the steady chords in synchronized hush. Snippets of a piano phrase now bloom inside our heads, and I can feel you turn to me, though not a word is said. Moments build like silent waves and echo through the song. The longer we just sit like this, the less the world feels wrong. Frequencies wrap round our cheeks and settle near our eyes. A second stretched in harmony becomes our soft disguise. Between the wires we softly share, a universe begins, and through this tiny channel flows the sound beneath my skin. Tender chords replace the clink of spoons and shifting chairs, and now this room feels far away as if it isn't there. Tethered by a single line that hums beneath your chin, I'd loop this track 1,000 times to keep you folded in. Between the wires we softly share, a universe begins, and through this tiny channel flows the sound beneath my skin. Even if the music ends and noise comes rushing through, this quiet space between our ears still holds the best of you. Folds within a paper nap hold lines I couldn't speak. The table shakes with every mark, my hand feels faint and weak. Beside the rim of cooling brew, I scribble where you sat. The letters curve, unsure but real, like shadows where we chat. Corners tear from pressing hard, yet still I write it true. This ink contains what lips held back, each word I saved for you. A semicolon holds its breath between what's said and not, and just beneath the surface line you'll find the thought I fought. Within this crease of quiet care, I draw a fragile vow, and all I couldn't say aloud is finding shape right now. Pages never felt this small, yet everything is there. The tilt of chairs, your coffee laugh, the scent that warms the air. You never asked for proof in words or begged for something more, but here I am with trembling lines still scribbling at the cord. Every loop and comma sighs with all I left unsaid, and if you hold this napkin close, you'll hear me there instead. You never looked for grand displays or long romantic prose, yet still I draft this silent note to where your spirit goes. Within this crease of quiet care, I draw a fragile vow, and all I couldn't say aloud is finding shape right now. Sentences and fading ink begin to lose their edge, but still I press and still I try, each word a gentle pledge. The coffee's cold, the cafe thins, the sky begins to pale, yet in this folded slip of thought my heart has left its trail. Within this crease of quiet care, I draw a fragile vow, and all I couldn't say aloud is finding shape right now. Even when the note is gone or tossed among the steam, the letter you were never shown still lives inside this dream. Curtains breathe against the glass and pages start to stir. The window paints a moving world while thoughts return to her. Fingers tap a gentle beat across the tabletop. Each glance beyond the drifting cloud is where my secrets drop. Sketches hide between the steaming corners of my mind. I trace your smile and borrow light that only I can find. This quiet booth becomes a vault for words I never send, but somehow in these coffee swirls I write you once again. Inside this sunlit silent frame, you surface line by line, and though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Rays fall soft across the ink where whispers leave a trail. I fold you in between the sips before the warmth can pale. You never knock upon the glass or notice where I lean, yet every glance I toss outside reflects what might have been. Moments live on napkin scraps in shapes I never show, but every shadow on the sill still finds a way to glow. You never knew this window seat could hold a world so wide, where every passing scene becomes the place where I confide. Inside this sunlit silent frame, you surface line by line, and though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Frames keep changing past the pain while I remain this hidden space. One more glance and there you are, in every drifting tree. A diary not bound in leather, but kept where none can see. Inside this sunless silent frame, you surface line by line. And though I never call your name, your outline's always mine. Even if the daylight bends and pages start to fade, the story written on this seat is one I never trade. Lids are up and time takes flight. You walk in sharp and bold. The air turns richer, darker still, as sparks begin to unfold. Heat beneath my collar climbs, no warning, just a rush. A glance from you, and every beat explodes without a hush. Jitters dance along my wrist, no sip has touched my lips. Yet something in your quiet gaze disarms me as it slips. The table shakes beneath my breath, the rhythm starts to race. And just like shots from copper brass, you pull me into place. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Fingers curl around the cup, but grip begins to slide. You stir the room without a sound, while I forget to hide. You never ask for grand display or push with burning heat, but still my chest begins to jump with every skipped repeat. Colors flash behind my lids while sounds blur into haze. And though I try to breathe it down, your glance begins to blaze. You never even move too fast, yet everything rewinds. The shot you pull inside my chest awakens all my lines. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Veins ignite with molten speed as silence turns to loud. I'd never thought that just one look could tear apart a cloud. Rushes rise like velvet waves, too fast for me to catch. And every beat that shakes my core feels tethered to your match. Through pulses brewed in sudden fire, you crash into my chest, and all my calm, once sweet and slow, now spins without a rest. Even as the moment cools and foam begins to part, the memory of that one glance still stirs my espresso heart. hands still hold a softened glow. The grain remembers whispered laughs from long slow cups ago. Cracks between the wooden rings carry a tender hush. The way you breathe beside your mug turns silence into blush. Dust and warmth entwine the air like pages left ajar. The scent of age, the drift of brew reveal just who we are. These quiet hours in morning light grow deeper with each sip. And though the world moves on outside, we hold a closer grip. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our touch we left behind still chooses to appear. You never needed perfect lines or grand elaborate art, but somehow in this quiet space you've carved into my heart. Evenings dim yet leave behind a trace of fire and oak, and in that blend of comfort found, our strongest words are spoke. You never asked for something bold, yet gave what poets seek. A love that, like this table's grain, grows richer every week. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our rhyme. Every nick along the frame becomes a mark of grace, like how we've weathered storms and sun, but stayed in the same place. Timelessness is not a myth when love is slow and true. This table scent, this grounded peace, all leads me back to you. Inside this scent of steeped embrace, we settle into time. The notes that linger on the wood are echoes of our rhyme. Even when the chairs are bare and coffee turns to cold, this space we built on fragrant wood will never not feel whole. Voices blur into the breeze like echoes on the run, but through the noise one gentle sound still outshines everyone. Steps around me rise and fall, yet none of them quite stay, until your laugh so soft and clear rewinds the world my way. Moments stretch and city fades behind your tilted grin, as if the lights all dim themselves to let your joy begin. No script could write this atmosphere, no stage could play it right. Just you and me beneath the Colors shimmer on the floor, reflections come and go, but in your gaze I find a calm that strangers wouldn't know. You never try to claim the space, but still you steal the air, and suddenly I'm lost within a world that wasn't there. Faces move, but none as bright as one I learned by heart. With every glance you cast my way, you pull the clouds apart. A moment built on fleeting sparks, now lives in golden frames, and all I ever need to hear is how you speak my name. Among a crowd of colored lives, I only feel your hue. The universe holds still for us and sings a song for two. Curtains close on all the rest, the scene begins anew, and I can barely catch my breath with how you shine right through. The world could tumble into dusk, but I would never blink if you're the light I get to see each time I stop to think. Among a crowd of colored lives, I only feel your hue. The universe holds still for us and sings a song for two. Even if the noise returns and daylight spins again, the stillness carved by just your laugh is where my dreams remain. Circles drawn in faded steam reveal where warmth once lay. A ghost of heat, a perfect frame that never fades away. Glossy wood and quiet clay still hold the shape you made. Though cups are gone, that outline stays where time refused to fade. Whispers cling to gentle stains left long after you leave. A silent mark you didn't plan, but one I still believe. Smudged along this amber tone, your presence lingers near, invisible to other eyes, but to my heart so clear. You didn't mean to leave a trace, yet here you still remain. A tender echo wrapped in rings like softly brewed refrain. Wind as sketch figurative lake that spills across the grain. The table hums a quiet tune of joy and gentle pain. No polish can erase the curve where all our mornings met. I still can see the way you smiled in shadows softly set. Memories aren't carved in stone, they bloom in things we miss. And every ring of golden brown still holds your fingertips. No signature, no written note, but somehow it survives. A stain that marks the space we shared, and every look in your eyes. You didn't mean to leave a trace, yet here you still remain. A the cup is new, but nothing quite aligns. The curve you left upon this wood still steals between the lines. I wouldn't wipe it if I could. It tells me where you've been. Your presence held in something small that sings beneath my skin. You didn't mean to leave a trace, yet here you still remain. A tender echo wrapped in rings like softly brewed refrain. Even as the daylight fades and tabletops are clean, the imprint of your gentle touch still lives in an in-between. Soft light, your silhouette becomes the calm I crave. Steam curls around your gentle hands, and stillness seems to say. Window panes reflect the world outside, but none compare to this. The way you sip and gently blend, golden rays drift past your cheek and the wooden board. You don't reach out, you don't display, yet in your quiet chord, hush surrounds the scattered noise as if the world withdrew. In that hush, only you exist, my favorite view with you. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the sea. No painting, street or skyline grand could match how real you seem. Crimson leaves may dance outside, or city lights might glow, but when you turn to read your cup, my heart forgets to roam. You never need to speak aloud to draw my wandering gaze. In every breath you've given me, I find 1,000 days. Dusks may fade and seasons pass, yet you remain unchanged. Among the shifting shapes of life, your glance stays warmly framed. No fancy view, no postcard scene, just you beside me here. And every sip, each quiet glance makes distant things disappear. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the scene. No painting, street or skyline grand can match how real you seem. Emerald nights could spread beyond with stars to light the sky, but in your peace I find the world, no need for outer light. Your laughter small, your sighing breath outshines the distant gleam. If this is all I ever see, I'll call it more than dream. Where shadows fade and coffee steams, your side becomes the scene. No painting, street or skyline grand could match how real you seem. Even when the day with rain. The sea beside your gentle form remains my perfect